All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? All right, the mini NFL predictions for the NFC. I have the Seattle Seahawks,
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dallas Cowboys, and the Green Bay Packers as division winners. Now, wild card spots, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, New Orleans Saints, and Detroit Lions. And I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers representing the NFC for Super Bowl. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts, and the Miami Dolphins for AFC division winners. Now, wild cards, I have the Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, barely, and I'm going to kick myself for this, the LA Chargers. I don't trust the Buffalo Bills to get it done, simply because of Josh Allen. And I have the Steelers represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Yeah. And I picked the Steelers to win it all. There you go. I know what you're thinking. Why not pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. Dang it. I am not picking my rival to win the Super Bowl. I just can't do it. Now, as for the Carolina Panthers, I don't see them making the playoffs. I had them go 7-9 overall. I was going back and forth between 4-12, 10-6, which is worse to best case scenario. My realistic prediction for that team is 7-9. And they just picked up Eli Apple. Wonderful. So there you go. I have video games. The Last of Us Part 2, the state of play. It was released. It was like a 8-9 minute gameplay video. I only watched about a couple minutes because I didn't want to, spoil it more. So it looks like the combat looks more brutal than the first. The stealth still look weak, but that's Naughty Dog for you. And the story, the plot is still it's the primary focus for The Last of Us Part 2. So it's coming out next month, and we'll see what this game is all about. We'll see if it's better than the first, or will the drama drowns this game. Speaking of which, I wonder which game is going to win, 2020 in terms of Game of the Year award. Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077. So, now Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, I finally played the game. I beaten it. I played it from Easter this year all the way to yesterday, which I beat, not yesterday, about 2 days ago, and I beat it. Took me 96 hours to complete. I also played the expansion, the Hearts of Stone, took me 10 hours, and I'm into my third hour in the second expansion, Blood and Wine. This is the first game I've ever played from the franchise, so I don't know. I just don't know anything about The Witcher at all. So maybe you fans can help me out. The game, which is the Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, takes place months after the sequel, which is Assassins of Kings. It's about Geralt and Yennefer going out for adventure, looking for Ciri, protect her from the Wild Hunt. And there's some twists and turns. And the game won numerous gaming awards and is considered one of the best games, not only ever made, one of the best games of all time. What do I think of the game? Greatness, stinkiness, and what on planet Earth did y'all do? Which is CD Projekt Red, which is Good, and Bad, and the Ugly. Alright. The pros. The Witcher contract is awesome. Memorable characters. Romance is excellent, which is shocking. replay value is very high. I have the regular version, not the complete edition. Thanks to the new Game Plus, they added. There you go. The music, the atmosphere, the story, good, but the cons, bugs, glitches are just downright redonkulous or ridiculous. Hearts of Stone side quest, I can't remember the name, is a good, not just very good, but a better example of how bad it is. The swimming mechanics is a total pain in the neck due to the controls. Speaking of which, the controls aren't smooth at all. It's 50-50. Half of the time it's smooth, other times not so smooth. The camera angle is just broken to the point where you be fighting it more than the enemy, let alone the boss fights. It sucks that the players have to play Siri for a short period of time. Not a fan of going to card games. The world is just too big. There's just way too much dialogue, too much talking to the point where you will fall asleep. I'm not a fan of durability in video games, and not a fan of this one in Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. The progression, the leveling, it is painfully slow until you get to level 27 or 28 or whatever. That's where you take off, and the items are just downright expensive. It's crazy. Oh yeah, the gameplay is incredibly flawed. Do I hate the game? No. I think it's better than most games, and that's the truth. But anytime a game feels more like you're reading a book or watching a movie, not so great of a gameplay, is more bugs than a rundown quality inn hotel, having unnecessary things, hot and cold controls, you're gonna get Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. It's a good game. Don't ever get it twisted. But I will always believe it's one of the most overrated video games in the current generation of gaming. 8th gaming generation. So, there you go. That's my verdict for Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. Good, but not great. Now, hopefully when they do Witcher 4, I just hope that we get to see Ciri. A whole lot of it. A whole lot of her, less of Geralt. Now, before I go to bed, there's a lot of things happen. G.I. Joe Origins, which Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins gonna come out sometime in October. Thankfully. Hopefully the movie theaters are open by then. 2020 has not been a good year for everybody. It hasn't. The 19 virus had claimed over 100,000 lives. Got these stupid protesting. People feel like they're being trapped in the house and their freedom being stripped and being quote unquote oppressed, to which is nonsense anyway. Now you have Ahmaud Arbery out of Georgia being gunned down, exercising, running in broad daylight by two racist idiots playing the vigilante justice, or playing Batman and Robin. You got Breonna Taylor sleeping. She's an EMT out of Louisville, Kentucky, gunned down in her own home. 20 plus bullets. She was shot 8 times. She was hit 8 times. Excuse me. I'm stunned that that story did not get a lot of press, didn't get a lot of attention. It should have been getting a lot of attention from the start, but like I said, the virus took over, you know. And now you have the Christian Cooper situation where Amy Cooper falsely calling 911, trying to get him, or not only arrested, get him killed by the NYPD cops. There's a happy ending. She lost her dog. She's been banned from going to that park. And she lost her job. She got fired. Not to mention she's a vice president at her former job. Nice one. And George Floyd. I don't know what to say at this point. I really don't. It's not politics. This ain't black on black crime. Racism is still at an all-time high. You got police officers need to be held accountable. Otherwise, they're going to continue to do what they do. And we're going to keep continuing to see protests go from peaceful to 1992 LA riots all over again. Now we're seeing 2020 Minneapolis, Minnesota riots. So, I don't condone rioting, looting. It just doesn't get it done, but unfortunately, this is what it takes to get people to wake up. So, hashtag Black Lives Matter 2. I'm going to bed.